Welcome back. Another day, another math lesson, 1.4 ratios and proportions. Hopefully you really enjoyed the easy lesson yesterday. That was 1.3, graphing those points, looking at the scatter plots. Today the book totally switched gears and went into something that tends to be a little bit harder for students. I think this first part is really fun and interesting. I have my degree in health as well. If I had to teach a different class other than this one, it would totally be a health class. I think I'm actually going to break this video up into 2 parts since it is a 2-day lesson. And I don't want this video to be super long. So I am going to break it off probably after this first section and then make a second video. If you want to go further than just this first problem today, go ahead and start the second video. I'm in no way saying that this is the stopping point for today. Just kind of go at your own pace. Try to finish up this unit in the next 2 to 3 days. Okay, so like I said, nutrition label. So consider the following nutrition facts for Junior Mint candies. Use the information on the label to answer the questions, including units in your work and final answers. Keep in mind that nutrition labels tend to list approximate values, and percents are usually rounded to whole numbers. Why? Because no one wants to look at a bunch of numbers, especially decimals. So, for this first one, what percent of the calories in Junior Mints is from fat? Okay, so they're asking for a percent. So I think a really good spot to start is what is a percent. Like I've said 100 times in our first unit or our first lesson, a percent is a part over a whole. All right, so that is where I'm going to start. And then what is the question specifically talking about? Well, they're talking about the calories in Junior Mints, and they're talking about fat. So I'm going to go to my nutrition label, and the first thing on there, or the third, fourth line down, is calories and calories from fat. So there's 170 calories per serving and 30 calories from fat. So the whole, or the bottom of my fraction, which is the whole, is going to be all the calories in the Junior Mints. And then the top, the part, is going to be the calories from fat. So how many calories from fat are, or what percent, I should say, of calories from fat are the calories in Junior Mints? So there are how many calories from fat? Well, there's 30 calories from fat. So 30 calories from fat over the total calories in the Junior Mints, which we said was 170. So 170 calories. If I divide that out, I'm not going to do it in my head. I'm just going to swipe over for my Desmos. I'll go 30 divided by 170. And I get 1.76, which I then need to turn into a percent. So that percent turns into 17.6%. If you want to take it a step further and follow what the directions kind of hinted at, percents are usually rounded to whole numbers, totally can. So this would be 18%. So about 18% of your calories in a serving of Junior Mints are coming from just fats. All right, next one. This package of Junior Mints accounts for 5% of a person's daily intake of fat for a 2,000 calorie diet. How was this number calculated? Okay, so down here at the bottom is the daily recommended values, percents, based on either a 2,000 calorie diet or 2,500 calorie diet. So we're looking at the total fat. So that'll be total fat and 2,000 calorie diet. I'm going to switch to a highlighter. So right here. Okay, so in a 2,000 calorie diet, it's recommended that you get less than 65 grams of fat. So let's see. In this particular serving, it looks like total fat, which is 3 grams, is that 5% that they were talking about. So percent, always part over whole. And what is the part? Well, the part is going to be my Junior Mint fat, the fat that's in the 1 serving of Junior Mints, and it's measured in grams. And then the whole is out of that daily, the total daily fat, and that was also measured in grams. Okay, so in 1 serving, we said that there was 3 grams of fat in the Junior Mints. So the part will be the 3 grams divided by the total daily recommended fat, which was 65 grams. And then I'll take back out my calculator and I'll go 3 divided by 65, and we get 0.046. And then we turn that into a fraction, or we turn that into a percent, which is 4.6%. And then what the directions kind of hinted us towards was that percents are rounded to the whole numbers. So 4.6 gets rounded to that 5%. And here was that 5% that they were talking about. So they just divided what the total fat from the Junior Mint divided by the total daily recommended fat that you get. All right, number 3, what percent? Remember, percent, so part over a whole of a person's daily allowance of carbohydrates does she consume if she eats this whole package of Junior Mints? Find the answer on the label and show how to calculate it, assuming a 2,000 calorie diet. All right, so let's see. So we're talking about carbohydrates. We want to know if she eats this whole package and based on a 2,000 calorie diet. All right, so let's see what information we can pull. I'll change color so that my highlighting is different. So total carbohydrates in 1 serving. And then we have our daily recommended value here of carbohydrates. And we're looking at the 2,000 or the 2,000 calorie diet. So it looks like 300 grams. I believe that we're supposed to assume that the whole package is 1 serving, because usually it'll say like servings per package up at the top, and it'll say like 4 servings per package. So if you ate the whole package, you would multiply everything by 4. In this case, that's not given, so I think we're supposed to assume that this whole package is just the serving. The serving is the whole thing. Okay, so part over a whole. The part, just like the fat, is the Junior Mint carbohydrates, and it's measured in grams divided by the total daily carbs. Also given in grams. All right, so in this package, there's 35 grams of carbohydrates, so 35 grams of carbs divided by the recommended 300 grams of carbs. So looking pretty similar to what we just did for the fats, just with carbs. Again, check out my calculator. Not about to do that in my head. All right, 11.1167. Turn that to a percent, and we get 11.7%. And then round it to the nearest whole number, which is 12%. And that's exactly what they had on the nutrition label. So we found the answer on the nutrition label. We showed how to calculate it. Done. Find the number of calories per piece of Junior Mint candy if there are 16 pieces in each serving. Okay, so find the number of calories per piece of Junior Mint candy. So number of calories per Junior Mint candy right there. And this per word indicates a fraction. So like miles per hour is miles divided by hours. Same thing here. Number of calories per, is that fraction bar, piece of Junior Mint candy. All right. How many calories are there? There's 170 calories. And pieces of Junior Mint candy, they're saying that there were 16. They gave us that information right there. So 16 pieces. All right. Divide that out. 170 divided by 16. Oops. Here we go. 10.625. Remember to include your labels because we were just talking about percents in the last 3 problems. So if you left this like that, you would almost kind of assume that this was a percent, which it's definitely not a percent. We're going to keep the units that we had right here, calories and pieces. So we've got 10.625 calories per piece of candy. Okay, so if you ate just one candy, that was 10 calories. All right, almost there. We're nearing the end. Number 5, assume a person has a 2,500 calorie diet. What percent of his daily allowance of carbohydrates did he consume if he eats this whole package of Junior Mints? Round your answer to the nearest whole number. So this package and these percents are, like they said, right here based on a 2,000 calorie diet. So if you are an athlete and you eat if you eat more than 2,000 calories, this information isn't going to be accurate towards your diet. This information is only accurate if you're eating 2,000 calories a day. So what are we talking about? We're talking about carbohydrates, assuming 2,500 calorie diet. Assume he eats the whole package of Junior Mints. So again, percent, we're going to have part over whole. The part is the grams of carbohydrate in the one serving divided by the total grams of the carbs in the recommended daily value. Okay, so how many grams of carbs are in this one serving? That's 35 grams. And total carbohydrates for 2,500 calories is 375. So 35 and 375. So 35 grams divided by 375 grams. And we get 35 divided by 375. And we get 0.03. 0.93. Ooh, okay, there we go. Make it into a percent. It is 9% of daily carbs. All right, so that's 9. So if you have a 2,500 calorie diet, it's 9% of your carbs. If you have a 2,000 calorie diet, it's 12% of your carbs. So a little bit of a difference there. Question number 6, how many calories are there per gram of Junior Mint? Okay, so calories per gram of Junior Mints. Again, that key word is per, so we know that we're going to have a fraction. So it's going to be calories per gram. And without reading the question carefully, noticing that per, I thought this question was pretty hard. But as soon as I saw the word per, I was like, oh, duh, it's a fraction. So then I wrote out my fraction there, and I know exactly what to find now. So the total calories in this serving is 70. And then how many grams are in each serving? That is the first line right here. Serving size is 40 grams. And then the total calories was 170. So calories, 170 calories divided by 40 grams. So we divide that out. And we get 4.25. Again, remember, include your labels. It's calories per gram of Junior Mint. So if you had a food scale and you really wanted to get specific on these Junior Mints and you wanted to eat just 1 gram, you broke the little cookie into a small, tiny little piece and you ate just 1 gram of the cookie, you ate 4 calories. So the label number 7, last one, then this first video is done. The label says there are 30 calories from fat. How was that number calculated? How accurate is it? Okay, so label says 30 calories from fat. Okay, 30 calories from fat. Let's see, 30 calories from fat. That was right here. Okay. And then if we go all the way down to the bottom, we have calories per gram, and fat was 9 calories per gram. So this one was also rather difficult. So let's write down all the information that we know. We know that there's 3 grams of fat per serving. And it's given that there are 9 calories from fat in 1 gram. We need to go from fat and we need to convert the units of fat into calories. So we have to set up unit conversion, which is actually talked about in like 3 questions from now. So this question is a little bit difficult since the book hasn't taught you it yet, but let's go for it. So we've got 3 grams of fat, and to convert that, we need to have the grams of fat on the bottom and the calories on top, because then the gram of fat and the gram of fat are going to be crossed out. They're going to cancel each other out because they're getting divided, and calories will be left. So the second part that we just wrote down, given that there are 9 calories of fat in 1 gram. So there's 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. And again, we found that number. It's given to us right in that bottom box on the nutrition label. So then it's just 3 times 9, which is 27 grams of fat. Units canceled out, and the units that are left is calories. So 27 calories, and they said that there are 30 calories from fat. So clearly they've rounded, but I feel like the rounding is pretty close unless you are super and wanting everything to be 100% accurate, but in the sense of rounding, it's pretty accurate. So they just rounded to 30.